Hey and welcome to another episode of my Bikini Challenge, where I take you through the real, the raw, the authentic journey of getting on stage for my second bikini fitness competition and dropping 10 to 12 kilos. I am so excited to make this update because there has been things going on. There's so many changes that's happened and I can't wait to take you through it. So to give you an update, I am 11 weeks out from my very first bodybuilding competition. And I saw my coach last Tuesday and we made some major changes. We made a decision. I am not doing my first bodybuilding competition. I am pushing back a week and I'm skipping the first one because what I realized, my initial goal is to win or at least place top 3. And that first competition that I was about to enter, they have merged 2 categories into one, which basically means that the girls that are competing in my category are usually the ones that are competing in the next level leanness. We're talking extreme lean. And to be very realistic, I could not get to that type of leanness, even if I push myself really, really hard. And I don't want to enter a competition where I know that I'll be up against girls who has been doing this for years, where I have no chance to win. So me and my coach just decided, you know what, we're just gonna skip the first one. So I actually bought myself another week, which is super exciting. And it makes me even more excited to push really hard to get to that top 3 in my first one. So originally I was gonna do my first competition on the 2nd of May, but now I'm doing my first one on the 9th of May. Let's run through the stats and what has changed. As I mentioned in my last update, I dropped 1.6% of my body fat within those 4 weeks of coaching and when I started my competition prep. And these are great results and I was really happy with it. But when we put that data into the spreadsheet, looking into the graph of how much progress I actually need to make in order to get to my end goal, that is what I need to drop every fortnight. What I achieved in 4 weeks is what I need to achieve in 2 weeks. We are really happy with making the decision to buy myself back another week, and we changed the data accordingly. This is a time where we're pushing hard, and let's just say the last week, I've really freaking felt that. I've honestly had to reconnect with my body and actually pull myself back and done a lot of reflecting around this because I've realized I'm not a superhuman and I am still a recovering perfectionist. And part of being a really good coach is to recognize when is it actually the data that comes in and when is it my mindset, my thoughts around the plan and how I'm actually connecting with my body that plays a part of it all. Let's run you through a complete update. So before, my calories were sitting at 1500 and we have dropped that. So we are going from 1500 to 1400 with a slight increase in the protein intake as well. Cardio has also been increased. Before I was doing 3 sessions a week, 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, and we have bumped that up to 4 sessions a week, 45 minutes each. Let me tell you, I have been feeling that. My legs literally does not want to move. But I realized one thing that really helped me and that just kind of like made sure that the time was going a little bit faster. Usually I can't really listen to anything or, keep myself distracted when I'm on the Stairmaster. And obviously when you're on it for 45 minutes, you have to. It's all a mindset game. The first 5 minutes feels somewhat hard, but from minute 5 to minute 15, that's when you actually start to feel it. And pushing past those 30 minutes that I was used to, honestly, it is all about just not thinking about the pain, convincing yourself that you are unstoppable and just keep pushing. What I've been doing is that I have brought myself a little bottle of my pre-workout and been sipping on it whilst I'm doing my cardio. It makes no sense because when you're having pre-workout, you actually want to have that before your training to make sure that it actually kicks in right before you go into training. But I realized mentally, I just really love having something extra and something sweet to sip on while I'm on it. So it has really helped. And also catching up on messages, going through TikTok, doing all the things that I wouldn't normally want to spend my time doing otherwise. watching like educational content from YouTube, from mentorships, all of those things, like it just makes time flies by. But it has been hard. I have struggled not just with my energy levels, but my legs. It's like my brain wants my legs to move, but my legs are just not moving. As you can notice, my brain is out of the game now too as well. This week, I just really felt it in every single sense. But the one thing that I'm really happy about though is my hunger levels. My hunger levels have still been like somewhat manageable. I've noticed some cravings are starting to rock up a bit more than what they normally would, but I'm still feeling really like content with my meals, and this all comes back to actually planning out your meals. So I'm really happy with that. This morning, I actually had something really exciting happen. I had my lowest weigh-in ever. So at the moment, I'm sitting at 71.5, which is super exciting considering when I started, I was sitting at 76.3, I believe. So it has been a massive drop, and I'm seeing the scale weight to drop. It has been really slow though. Like last week was so slow. Like I feel like the scale didn't move at all, and some days it went up, and I had to really trust the process. I had to sit with trusting what I'm doing is working and staying grounded in that. This is one of the hardest challenges. It's really testing your patience. It's really testing you trusting the process and really honing into that. But if you keep doing the work, if you keep putting in the habits and following your targets, like there is no way it's not going to be working. If you are honest with yourself and you know that you're putting in the work will always pays off. It all comes down to having a personalized plan that actually is tailored to your needs, your goals. And when you keep showing up and doing the work, you get to see the outcome, you get to see the results. So mentally, it was challenging to not seeing that changing, but I kept reminding myself of it's normal, it's all part of the process. And this morning, I was reminded by that. Calories has dropped from 1500 to 1400. Cardio has been increased, and we also have implemented more steps. So before, my step targets were 12,000 a day, and now I'm aiming for 13 to 14,000 a day. Some days it's been quite manageable. Some days I've actually had to walk around like a moron in my apartment just to get my steps in. And if you haven't tried this before, like walking around when like you're brushing your teeth, you're cleaning your face, like taking all your makeup off, it actually is a game changer. And when I've had those nights where I've had like 1,000 steps left, it has helped me heaps. This is where I'm currently at, and I'm really happy to see how my body's changing. A lot of people are commenting on it, and let's just say I am really feeling it. Learnings that I've taken through this week, that I actually had to sit and reflect upon, okay, what do I need to change? Because as I mentioned, my energy levels has dropped like drastically. I've basically been feeling like I'm running on fumes, even though like I'm feeling content with everything overall, but it's almost like my brain wants, to wake up, feel energized, and I feel okay, but I have that energy for like 3 to 4 hours and then it just drops. And it doesn't matter what my meal timing is right. It doesn't matter if I have caffeine. I felt like nothing has really helped. The things that I normally have put in place to get structure and to optimize my energy levels have not worked at all. And I realized why. I have been literally disconnected to my body. Like I have been thinking that I'm some superhuman, that I can just push through and be productive all the time. And I haven't actually allowed myself to have time to recover, to reset, and just mentally taking a break. Because even if I have, times where I don't work, even if I have times where I don't train, like I don't feel sore from my workouts in that sense. But I've realized like mentally, like energetically, I need that little reset. I've been trying to push through, like I'm having coffee and getting straight back into like admin tasks the second I need to do it. But I haven't actually recognized that sometimes I just need to slow down. I am human, I am not a machine, and this has really taught me a lesson. I've had days where I felt dizzy when waking up, and I had water, I cut up the caffeine, see if that helped, but I still felt dizzy. I had hot flashes, like my body just got hot and cold all the time. I've experienced my sore throat again. I thought to myself, why my body doing this to me? Like, why can't I just be a normal person and just do all the hard work and push through? But I realized that's because I'm not listening to my body. Obviously, this goes a little bit against when you're doing a comp prep competition, you are going to have moments, a lot of moments where you can't listen to what your body wants and you just have to do the opposite. But I think it comes back to a very fine line of balance, because even though I'm still sticking to my targets, I'm being very devoted to my goals, being grounded in that, I still have to recognize what my body is trying to tell me. Like, my body has been screaming at me, girl, you need to rest. You need to slow down. I need a minute. And I've basically just been like, oh, shut up. You can keep going. Like, who cares? Like, you know what? I have all these tasks I need to get done. You can't give up on me right now. Whereas it doesn't work like that. So I've been trying to push away that voice that my body is just basically screaming at me. And it comes to a moment where you can't ignore it anymore. Your body is gonna give you signs, even if you like it or not, and it's gonna tell you what you actually need. And I have felt this in the past. Last year, I had a period in my life where I was very close to burnout. Like, I was so close going straight into that wall. I had my cortisol levels. I had body fat starting to gain on my body without me even understanding or realizing why. I was holding on to so much like inflammation, water retention, and I just didn't feel like myself in my skin. And I thought that after the whole journey of that, I learned my lesson. I learned when to pull back. I learned to recognize the signs. But you know what they say? Universe is going to keep giving you the lesson until you actually learn, until it's ingrained in you, that you to the core depth, the root depth, that you actually know it. And I think this was literally like my wake up call of like, you can't keep ignoring what your body is telling you. You can't keep ignoring the signs, and understanding that rest is productive and not feeling guilty about resting as well. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges when you run your own business and when everything is reliant on yourself. Like, I can delegate some things, but at the end of the day, I need to make sure that shit gets done. Otherwise, it doesn't get done. And having that pressure, you can increase your capacity. You can increase capability to hold that and know that, you know, I can handle whatever comes into my way. But it comes to a point where it gets to be too much. And having that inner stress as well, not just like having the stress of like, I need to get these tasks done, I need to schedule this in, I need to keep everything in order, but also never actually stopping, like having the noise in your head to go on and not setting the time to actually let your brain slow down and let your brain think. And so if I look back at the last couple of weeks and I really reflect, I've realized I've done all my tasks, I've been doing really good when it comes to productive, but then I still have not taken the time to get my brain to get a rest as well. Like, literally the second I put my head on the pillow, I have passed out and I have been so tired. But I realized I haven't actually taken the time to let my brain rest, to let my energy rest. Like, actually getting to bed 15 minutes earlier and like putting on a meditation or some calming music and creating that downtime where I can actually allow my brain to rest and not just like instantly fall asleep. Last week, I had some social things going on as well. On Saturday, I went to see the new movie at the cinemas with Margot Robbie. Actually, really enjoyed it. And because obviously I knew that I was going to the cinemas, I want snacks, okay? I'm human, I want snacks, everyone wants snacks. But when you're in comp prep, when you are doing it very, very to the T, you have to make sure that you're not consuming things that you can't track. I need to make sure that I'm sticking to my calorie targets. So here's how I kind of navigate around that. I thought to myself, what do I crave? What do I actually want to snack during the movies? And I don't know about you, but I realized I I'm a buffet girl. Like, I love to have it all. Like, I want to have all the different tastes and the textures and flavors. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have something salty, and then I'm gonna have something like really sweet that feels like, you know, lollies. I sat and had a little look. I did a little bit of research, like, what do I want to bring with me? I brought a protein bar, 2 snack packs of popcorn, and a little box of fresh blueberries. And then I ordered myself a really large Pepsi Max. And that kept me full content, and I was honestly loving it. If you are creating a lifestyle for yourself, if you're creating a sustainable lifestyle, you do not need to track your movie snacks, okay? I will never ever tell my clients that they can't go and have the popcorn at the cinemas, because that is just unrealistic. But as I mentioned, I'm in a challenge. This is hard work, and I need to make sure everything that goes into my body is in numbers. So I put the snacks in, I calculated that into my Saturday, and then I had my meals to align around that. So I knew that I wanted these snacks, so that I make sure that I have enough protein across my other meals. I had dinner after the movies. I just make sure that everything fit into my calories. Did my steps prior, did my cardio prior, and I had a really, really good time. So just because you have a goal, and if you actually want to lock in and transform your body, it doesn't mean that you have to give up on social things. Yes, sometimes it means not drinking as much as you would normally do. Sometimes it means, you know, choosing something mindfully when you go out for dinner that has protein, that makes you feel full. But sometimes it actually just means making sure that you're choosing what you want to have as well. So I was really happy with going to the movies. I haven't been to the movies in such a long time, so it was a really, really nice experience. On Sunday, I got a message from one of my friends asking if we wanted to do catch up, like go for a walk, sauna. So we decided we went into the sauna, the infrared sauna, which is really, really nice because you can sit next to each other and you're not like dramatically like dying from the heat, because it's only really about like 60 degrees, and it makes you sweat, it makes you feel good, but you don't leave it feeling like absolutely exhausted. And then we did some hot and cold plunges too. And that was really, really nice. And it's so easy to prioritize other things. It's so easy to say, oh yeah, well, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do next week, and then you never get to it. And I think the key is really to plan it in, because I don't ever feel like I need to go to sauna or do these things. But afterwards, once you've done it, you realize how good it is for you, not just for your body, like to recover and, you know, catch up with friends is nice too, but also just to have that space to not be on your phone, to get that mental clarity and actually allow yourself to just be in the present. The key lessons I'm taking with me is actually planning it in more often. I'm going to do the same thing this weekend. Me and my friends, we're going to Soak Bathhouse. It's a place here in Brisbane where you can do like cold plunges, sauna and all those things. You always feel so grateful afterwards, and it's like you're giving yourself a gift. Like your soul just like thanks you after it, and your body just feels amazing. So going into this week and the upcoming weeks from now on, I am really setting the intention to honor my body rather than trying to fight against it and fight the urge to rest. I find myself feeling really disappointed and frustrated that my body didn't want to listen to me and my body didn't want to show up and do the work that I wanted it to do, but instead just like listening to those signs and actually allowing myself a break. I've just incorporated having like a proper lunch break. And this sounds really ridiculous. Like when you think about all the people that work 9 to 5, they have a lunch break, they take it and they don't feel guilty about it because their employer tells them to do so. And there's a reason behind that, and not just like because you don't always feel like you need a lunch break. But what I've realized is like actually just allowing myself to have that time to eat, maybe watch a good show on Netflix, just sit and like digest the food and just create a little bit of space in my brain has really helped me to recover, like energetic wise, not having that noise and brain fog of like, I need to get this done, I need to have all these tasks done before I leave. Or I've realized that I have been living like every day is a race. Like every day is just a sprint to like get to the end of the day so I can complete all my tasks. But that's not really what life is about. And I don't want to live a life where I'm just surviving every day and just doing all the things that I need to do. Like I can trust myself that I will do all those things anyways, and still allowing myself to have a downtime, still allowing myself to have fun and rest when I need to. So some changes that I'm making, I've realigned my schedule to suit my energy levels and to help me to energetically recover as well. Being in person with people for 6 or 7 hours, it is demanding. Even though I love my work, I love my clients, and I love showing up for them. I love when they show up for me, but I still come to a point where my energy is out. Like the battery is out, there's nothing left in the tank, and it makes it really challenging when I have to show up for my own training and doing all the cardio and the steps. I need to ensure that I'm showing up as my best self for myself, but then I can also show up as my best self for my clients as well. Sleep this week has been good. I have been sleeping more than I usually do, but I noticed myself getting into a perfectionist mindset. I always aim to have 8 hours of sleep because I've noticed my body, like I noticed my energy levels shifting when I have 8 hours of sleep versus when I have 7. A certain point where if I know that I'm not going to get 8 hours of sleep, I have a tendency to just go into fuck it mode. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get 8 hours anyways. I might just scroll half an hour now. Instead of reading a book or instead of just like getting that half hour sleep, it's easier to just be on TikTok. It's easier to just like do all the things that doesn't really serve me. So coming back to, okay, well, I don't need to be a perfectionist when it comes to my health. And I need to prioritize what makes me feel good. And even though scrolling on TikTok makes me feel good in the moment, it's not beneficial for my energy levels. And those are the times that I can save for my Stairmaster sessions. I also am working on some really exciting new offers and things that I'm launching in my business. And that has really helped me to see the vision of how I can be smarter with my energy and how I can impact people on a whole different level as well. So it's been really exciting, and I feel now coming into the new year, if you didn't know it, and if you're not an astrology girly, like we are officially in the horse year, and we have shredded the last little bits of our snake year. And I really feel this new energy. And I know I'm saying this now, and then next week I'm gonna be really tired as well. But I am seeing the opportunities, and I'm have put in some like grounding practices for myself as well. I did a really nice meditation yesterday, going through like connecting with my spiritual self and getting guidance from like higher powers and guardian angels and all those things. And I realized I put my spirituality last on my to-do list for every single day. I got my training, my work, cardio, steps, meals, making sure everything is on point. Whereas I've actually neglected a really huge part of my identity that I really value, which is connecting with my higher self, connecting with my spirituality. So this is definitely something that I'm going to keep doing and keep reminding myself of doing as well. Because whenever you feel lost, whenever you feel disconnected to yourself and to your purpose, and you feel like you're just like going on every single day and not feeling like there's a point to anything, that's when you need to really hone into your vision, your purpose, your passion. I stopped dreaming. I stopped connecting with that side of myself and realizing that, oh, like you need this. Like you actually need to hold a vision and to be connecting with that part of yourself more often, because otherwise life is just life. And I want to live my absolute best life. And in order to visualize my future and visualize how I want things to be and seeing the opportunities, I need to actually allow the time to tap into my spirituality. That was this week's update. I hope that you're still enjoying seeing these updates, and I can't wait to take you through the whole journey. This is where the hard part starts. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do so you're not missing out on the episodes. I'm dropping new videos every single week, updating you on my journey and my results and the challenges and all the fun parts that comes along with dropping 10 to 12 kilos. I'll see you in the next one.